Hello and welcome to the latest This is the Music Meets podcast. I'm delighted to be joined by Matilda Shakes. Over the course of today's podcast, we're going to find out exactly what the band have been up to, and we're also going to say hello to new band member Joel and find out what the band's plans are for 2023. James and Joel, welcome along to the This is the Music Meets podcast. How are you both doing?
Nice one. Thanks for having us again, Mark. Yeah, we're all good.
Nice one. Thanks for having me on for the first time. Thank you very much.
Great stuff. Great, as I say, great to have you both here. And we're going to kind of like sort of, obviously, as you've just said there, James, obviously was on last year. And we're just sort of going to kind of like catch up to see exactly, look at 2022. And obviously, as we know there, you obviously released 3 singles in Shakedown, Up All Night and Fast Lane. And kind of like looking back on that now, like the reaction across like social media and obviously the interest in the band just seemed to sort of get bigger with each release. I mean, looking back on that now, I mean, how pleased are you with that? And what was the mood like at that time?
To be fair, we had a decent year. Obviously, when we first come on, released Shakedown, that released that just as we did first interview with you.
Yeah.
And so I said we got bigger and better things to release, and I think we each release we got more knowledge on PR and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
So I think every release got bigger and bigger up until Fast Lane. Fast Lane did really well, so I got on F1 and obviously with Sheffield United as well, which were pretty big for us. So we're fairly happy with last year. There were a few bits where we felt we could have done a bit better, like gigging and recording a little bit more, which is more like what we're looking at doing this year. So hoping to be a lot more active this year, let's say.
Great stuff. And obviously, as you just mentioned there, I mean, Fast Lane ended up on the Formula One playlist as part of the like the best of British, wasn't it, for the Silverstone Grand Prix? And just to sort of like drop a few names in there that were on that playlist with you, just to sort of give people some idea that this was, a pretty big thing, really. I mean, there was Liam Gallagher, Kasabian, and Arctic Monkeys. I mean, bloody hell, what a moment, eh?
I know. when I got email, I were at work and we're not supposed to really be on his phones, like, and I checked Van's email and saw this email popping. I was like, oh my god, like literally, I was like, I've got to go, and I phoned my mum and dad, and I'm like, Mum, Dad, we've got an F1 playlist.
Brilliant. And kind of like, are you a fan of Formula One at all, or is it does that mean like a little bit more, or not? Sort of more of a casual fan.
I've always watched Formula One, even from like being young. Like me and my dad used to literally set alarms. It used to be having like Australia and stuff. It'd be on daft o'clock in the morning, like 3 o'clock. We'd get up and like we'd watch it, and like Michael Schumacher were like literally like my childhood hero.
Yeah.
So like in opening line, it's a Schumacher podium. That's where lyric comes from. So to get that, it were big for us. So
great. Proper sort of, pinch yourself moment. And obviously, as you say, sort of something, like a real childhood memory, as well being like, achieved. And kind of like, obviously, I've not actually been able to see you guys live yet, but looking across the socials, it looks like your live sets go down an absolute storm. And obviously you managed to play, I guess another sort of like bucket list moment really was the, you played the Sydney and Matilda, didn't you? Which is obviously a very prestigious venue up there in Sheffield. So again, what was that night like, and what was the mood like in the band, being able to sell out that venue?
Yeah, I mean, it was buzzing, to be fair. Like, it was a bit stressful on lead up to it because obviously Josh, as previous drummer, he broke his finger, and that were like literally 3 weeks before gig. So we were like running around to try and find a drummer. We messaged Joel at the time, and he weren't available. And we managed.
I was at the gig. I was at the gig.
You come to the gig.
Yeah, so, I was in the crowd. It were at that point I realised, all right, yeah, these guys are pretty serious. I probably should say yeah. They really, that's when I saw the band for the first time live, and it kind of blew me away, and there was some real energy in crowd, so they were brilliant.
Oh, okay. So that actually then takes me on quite nicely now to the next question. So obviously last time you were on, you were a 4-piece. You're obviously now a 5-piece, and obviously Joel, you're obviously now the band's new drummer. So kind of like, I'm guessing you haven't played any gigs, I don't think, yet as a 5-piece. So kind of like, I guess, in rehearsing and stuff. So what's the dynamic been like for you personally, Joel, coming into the band, and sort of like James with you, a couple of new members, and obviously you know, a new vibe to the band as well, I'm guessing.
Well, for me, I've been doing this quite a long time. I've been doing it since I was 15, so you can imagine how many bands I've been in and out. And to be fair, it's been one of the easiest rides jumping into a band just because of the energy in the room. So I saw them live, and I was kind of like, right, yeah, I'm gonna have to go home and listen to these tracks now, because they blew me away live. I was like, right, I'm gonna have to learn these songs and just get into the room. And I've rehearsed, I think, three or four times now. Sets sounding like filthy at the minute, sounding huge, and we've even started writing now. So things are just happening organically and as smooth as they possibly can be. So I'm happy.
Yeah. It's like we're in the honeymoon period at the minute. It's like we're in a brand new relationship and everything's like fine and dandy, isn't it? So, but like I said, I think things that are like coming out at practice room now are sounding massive. Even, you know, we've only had like 4 practices with you, as you said, and like we've been writing some new material and it's just sounding massive straight away. So
yeah, and I mean, fetching, because obviously when I saw you guys, like you got 2 guitars, and that I'm fetching Jack in on that extra guitar. It's just added that extra layering, mate. It just sounds massive. It sounds like a smaller Foo Fighters. You know what I mean? With up guitars and drums, and there's a lot to work with. It's sounding good at the minute.
Oh, good stuff. Well, it certainly sounds like really exciting, and I think as well, I'm getting a real good, you know, the passion for that's coming through actually from both of you. Like, you know, how exciting it is, you know, like almost well, I guess like Mark II, I guess, effectively for Matilda Shakes.
Yeah.
So obviously one of the things, obviously I'm a big football fan, and I got to say the introduction video, Joel, that you did for the obviously on transfer deadline day was, for me, was a stroke of genius. And it looked like a great bit of fun. I mean, was it quite a simple sort of, you know, idea to come up with to do that for you boys?
It were all my idea, absolutely everything.
Yeah.
No, it was James actually. We're all football fans, so you know there's football banter because we all support different teams. But I mean, for him to text saying I've got a brilliant idea to announce the members, and we'll do it on transfer deadline day, and I've got this pretty cool idea to get football shirts designed, and we'll do like an actual reveal. It just sent like something that people would take to pretty well. So I enjoyed it.
Weren't it?
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, I definitely enjoyed it, and I was sitting there as it was coming. All the notifications were turned on, thinking, "Come on, lads, you know, time's ticking. I want to see what's going on."
Yeah, it was pretty cool how we staggered it as well, like for every like 3 hours as well, just to keep people like you said, like yourself on edge of your seat, thinking, when's the next one coming?
Well, it definitely achieved that, and and kind of like sort of staying on the football theme now. Obviously, James, I know that you're a big Sheffield United fan, and Joel, obviously, just talking to you sort of off screen there, you're obviously a Sheffield Wednesday fan.
Yeah.
So kind of like James, I'll come to you first. Sheffield United are having a really good season. What you're 3rd in the league, I think, at the moment. You're second in the league. Yeah. So you're right in the mix for the automatic promotion spots. Then
we're having us blip at minute though. By looks of things, we were 13 points clear, and now we're only 4. Being typical Sheffield United.
Yeah, there's a feeling. Well, I'm not going to say too much about football in a minute, but obviously, because you also there's a bit of a takeover going on as well. I've seen, or is it not happening now? I've got sort of gone a bit quiet on the.
Yeah, I think he's got to submit some evidence that he can fun club, right? Obviously, I don't really know. I'm just going off what I read on internet.
yeah.
Like, so, I mean, fingers crossed. I mean, to be fair to Prince, he's steadied ship a little bit, but I think he's run out of money.
The skint is Prince in the.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of Wednesday fans like to call it Poundland Prince.
Don't know what you're on about.
and Joel, and I mean Sheffield Wednesday as well seem to be having a very good season as well this year. You're up fighting for the for promotion as well.
We are first, but we joined with Plymouth on points, but we've got a game in hand, so it's looking good for both Sheffield sides, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's Sheffield just booming in general at the minute, so
yeah, definitely.
I think if we both had his way, I think we'd both be in Premier League, wouldn't we?
I mean, we're a big city. We're one of the biggest cities in the country. I don't understand how we can't have, like a steady football. But both clubs in Premier League, really. But football's football, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I mean, it is obviously both. Back obviously sort of like the early sort of mid-90s. Obviously, you were both in the Premier League. Obviously, Sheffield United years ago were back in it. So it is probably about time that you were both back in it, as you say. That it doesn't seem quite right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I've never seen. I think I was born the year they went down. That's just my luck.
So it's your fault.
Yeah, I've
been the unlucky fan.
Yeah. So we'll see.
So kind of like then, as you guys know, here at This Is The Music, we like to kind of like shine a light on up and coming bands, like Matilda Shakes and solo artists as well, who are trying to like make their way, on the new music scene. So over like the last 12 months, what sort of bands or artists that have maybe caught your eye?
Heavy North, definitely.
Yeah,
really
great band.
They're a class band. I know Dean's quite keen on getting us both on together.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Similar sound there.
Yeah.
Which we've got 3 guitars now. They've got 3 guitars. I can see that. I think Claws are doing really well. I can see them doing big things this year. Obviously, you've got Raytons, who've got arena in Sheffield, which is mental. Like, unbelievable stuff they do with PR. I'm really into Kairos, from Liverpool.
Yeah, another great band.
You got Sheraton's from Leeds.
Yeah, they're wicked. They're a good band. The Chase is smashing it.
Yeah, Chase. Yeah, they're doing really well. They're great. Great set of lads as well. Actually,
yeah, they are.
Got a lot of time for them.
We've come across a lot of bands in this last 12 months. That we've never heard of before, and unsigned scene just seems to be booming at the minute.
Yeah, there just seems to be. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but it just seems to like guitar music and rock bands are starting to matter again, and people are going out to gigs and bands are charting and they're like getting number one now. I
mean, look at Rayton's number one. To be fair, I don't think Sherlock's will be far behind.
No, I was thinking the same.
Their new tune's class. To be fair, really.
I'm loving that.
So, no,
it's a good time to be in a band.
Yeah,
definitely.
Band as well.
Yeah, and I agree there with you, Joel. What you just said as well about I think, British guitar music at the minute it's definitely on the rise, and there's quite a few bands. Obviously, as you both just pointed out there, that I think this year, they're at that stage where they could quite easily explode over onto the into the mainstream, and while they're at it, probably put 2 fingers up at a certain radio DJs.
I'm
not bothered about that.
I've literally just read it about half an hour ago. Like,
it's shocking that, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. I mean, it kind of. I don't want to go down that road, but quite a lot of introducing sort of radio channels are at this. They've got the favourites, you know what I mean? It just seems to be quite hard to get your music out there unless you are breaking your back. Like, I mean, James does a lot of PR for releases for Matilda, and I mean, in fairness, he smashes it. Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is. You've got to put that work in yourself now, I think. Yeah,
I think definitely. I think that's I don't think it's necessarily all about maybe having an actual like PR as such. I think there's certainly ways that you can, as you boys did with the transfer window thing. I think you can do different things to sort of get yourselves noticed and stuff. But yeah, as we've said, I think we're both all in agreement there that obviously it is a really, really exciting time, and you know, I think long may it continue.
Yeah.
So what we're going to ask you now is kind of like it's a hypothetical gig that you guys are going to be putting on for us. So we're going to put Matilda Shakes are on the bill, and we're going to pick we'll pick five bands in total. So the first question we're going to ask you is, what would be the dream venue to play at?
Yeah, see,
Be indoors, outdoors,
you were
whatever,
talking about
whatever
this
you
the other
want.
day, weren't you? Somewhere you've dreamed of playing.
What's that?
Somewhere that you dreamed of playing.
Where were it?
You want to do arena, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sheffield Arena. Yeah, 100%. You know, it been. I've grown up going to gigs there, and I watch Steelers there every week, and it's just one of them places that I'd just like to be able to be on, you know, other side of it, and just be like, right, this is it. So we'll go with arena.
It's, to be fair, arena's all at gig that we've not done, innit? It's all at
Yeah.
venue that we've not done. Obviously we hit main stage at O2, that were incredible. That, like, I'd love to do that week in, week out. But yeah, I mean, I could go with arena. I don't think it'd be big enough for this gig that we're going to put on though.
I've been there once, I think. Yeah, once I've been there. 2006, I think it was. Yeah, great venue. Saw Oasis and Shaq were on support. I just remember the Shaq just getting pelted by everyone. No one was interested at all. Which, yeah, looking back on their back catalogue, probably a little bit unfair, to be honest. So you boys are walking out onto the stage. What is going to be your entrance music?
To be fair, like whenever we play live gigs, it's always Clubfoot by Kasabian. It just gets crowd popping, and it pumps us up as well. To be fair, like backstage listening to it, like Kasabian,
it's heavy, isn't it?
Yeah, one of my favourite bands. To be fair, so
yeah. Great choice. So as I said at the beginning, we've got space for obviously Matilda Shakes, and we're going to have 5 other bands. So you just need to decide, where are Matilda Shakes going to sit on the bill? Are you going to open it up, or are you going to headline it? And obviously the other bands that you're going to put with you on the bill.
Yeah, I don't think we're quite big enough to headline it yet, are we?
We'll be selling drinks.
Yeah. Popcorn. We'll be walking around with popcorn. How do you want to do this, Joel?
Well, we'll open it because we're coming out to Clubfoot. We'll start now. We'll be fair.
Put the pressure onto the other bands.
Yeah, we'll put pressure on. See what they can do after us.
That's it.
Can it be any band?
Yeah, it can be any band. You know, it can be like bands like yourselves that are sort of, you know, trying to make their way, or it can be, you know, the sort of, you know, big, you know, the big boys, I guess, if you want for a better word.
I suppose it depends
right,
whether they're putting this gig on, doesn't it?
Can they be alive, or do they have to be alive?
It's entirely up to you.
Right. Well, I hope you agree. I'm gonna put Queen as headliner just because, you know, it's Queen.
Yeah,
and
sure.
One of my favourite bands.
Yeah, I think they're one of everybody's favourite bands, aren't they? To be fair, so I'd like to put them headlining. I'd like to open up for them.
Yeah,
just got to find thought for it. We have to have Kasabian on, just because Kasabian, I think that's personally what I like. It's one of our, that's one thing we've all got in common in the band, that we're all Kasabian fans.
Yeah, sure. Okay, right, good choices. So we've got Queen and Kasabian and Matilda Shakes. So we've got 2 more bands to pick.
I'd have to chuck Oasis in there, but I think they go just above Kasabian for me.
Yeah. So like, yeah, Oasis can play just before Queen, I think, and I
could you imagine that? Oasis main support for Queen. Oh dear.
It sounds like a right gig. Then we just need. I think it'd be funny to put Blair on bill then. I think it'd be funny to have Blair on bill, see if Oasis are.
Oh god.
It'd be a rave party backstage.
That's it then. If you're going down that route, Robbie Williams is not gigging all.
Yeah, it sounds like a good one.
You're coming
Yeah.
out
Brilliant.
to a song from Fight Club, aren't you? So you may as well go for it.
Yeah.
Go all
Worked for
out.
me.
Go all out.
Yeah.
Great stuff. So we've got, to recap then, we've got Queen headlining, we've got Oasis, we've got Kasabian, Robbie Williams, and we've got Matilda Shakes.
Love it.
Listen, I'd pay any amounts of money to see that.
I think there'd be a lot of people that would have the same opinion of you. Just probably just to see whether or not if Liam and Robbie went for it, to be honest, I think more than anything.
Might finally get it on.
Yeah, that's it. So we're gonna chuck some quick fire questions at you now. So the first one is, what is your favourite TV series?
Happy Valley at minute. I've just finished it.
Right, like that,
Straight
bang.
in there, now thinking about it.
Quick fire.
He's in, yeah, he's in. James, what about you?
Oh God, I've watched that many.
Teletubbies.
I've watched Manifest recently. That's a pretty decent one. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
No, I've not. I don't think I've come across that. I haven't watched Happy Valley, but I've heard everyone talking about it.
Yeah, it's wicked. I get watching it, man. It's only 3 series, so you can get through it.
Ah, well, there you go. We've got a recommendation. Love it. What's your favourite film?
Superbad.
Again, bang, he's in.
Jesus Christ. I'd probably go a classic like Shawshank Redemption. I like that.
Can't beat that. Can't beat that. And what as well is your favourite sandwich filling?
See, I do have to think about this one.
Can I speak?
Yeah, go on. I'm thinking.
I quite like chicken tikka. I'm a big chicken tikka fan.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna go and say meatballs, meatball marinara, like, you know what I mean? Classic Joey from Friends. You can't beat a meatball sub.
And kind of like then as well, sort of going back, sort of like when you were obviously a hell of a lot younger than what you are now. Like, what are your like first musical memories? You know, like what was like maybe like the first album or song that you maybe remember, remember hearing growing up?
Jimmy Nail, Crocodile Shoes.
Oh, classic.
That was my favourite song that as a kid.
Yeah.
Used to come on radio and I'd be like, put it on again, Dad, put it on again.
Love it.
I was quite lucky. Like my mum, growing up, my mum was a skinhead. So I was brought up with a lot of ska. So I'd say I was brought up listening to a lot of specials and stuff like that. And then obviously as time went by, I got into my stepdad's into Red Hot Chili Peppers. So we're always brought up with loud like drums and guitar music. So yeah, anything like from specials to Chili Peppers is definitely a musical memory for me.
Oh, nice. Some great choices and great memories in there for you guys. So kind of like then what obviously we've obviously spoken a lot about what you did like last year. So kind of like what are the plans then for 2023? Are we going to see some more new music? Is there gigs in the pipeline? What are the plans?
Arena, we open. Queen headline.
The resurrecting Freddy. Yeah. No, like I said, there's loads in pipeline. We're back in studio in March. So we're looking at releasing April. So that's going to be his first release. It's been a tough. It's been 6 months nearly since we've last released.
Yeah.
So obviously we Josh departing. It's been a bit difficult. We had Charlie, who studied ship for us. He's studying at Sydney and Matilda for us, and then obviously Joel's coming recently as well. So we're just getting things up to speed in terms of set list, getting songs ready for recording, which they are now, and then just working on new material. So we're looking at 5 releases this year.
Oh wow!
And then we're looking potentially November time for a physical EP, which will be his first physical. So we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, sure.
And then in terms of gigs, we'll just be hitting a lot of major cities this year. So there might be a gig that you might be able to attend in August. Can't go
Well,
too much into it, but
yeah. Oh,
so
lovely. Well, that sounds great to me. And you're saying there about a physical release. Is that going to be like a vinyl, or is that going to be CD, or are you just sort of exploring at the minute?
we're going to explore options. We prefer vinyl,
Yeah.
but again, it's just weighing up costs and ways of going about that. Because obviously they're quite expensive vinyl, but you know we have got as outlets to get it out there, so we're going to explore them and just see what we can do. We've obviously got to record all tunes as well first, make sure we're happy with all them, and then, like I said, we'll be looking at his first physical release, which it'll be a big buzz for us.
Yeah.
It's something we've looked at doing in past, but it's just not quite worked out for some reason or another. So this year it's all guns blazing. We're gonna go for it this year.
Yeah,
like
I could it, to be fair, to get stuck in. You know, like when you book stuff and you've got things coming up. I'm quite an impatient kid anyway, so I'm like, but I've got no fingernails left. You know, I just want to get stuck in, but I'm eager, and I think rest of the lads are. I think for foundation wise now, things have finally set in stone now, so there's no stopping us.
Yeah, it's like I keep saying, it's like we've had his apprenticeship now, and it's time to get serious with it. You know, we know we're capable of doing it, so you know, why not? Everything's been stepped up this year, from level of recording to mastering and things like that. So we are taking it deadly serious. You know, there's a few like management companies and stuff interested in working with us, and you know, we are creating a buzz in like Sheffield, our city. So like in March, we've sold out Leadmill, sold that out 2 months in advance, which is a big thing. And then we've got a massive headline show in November that's not been announced yet, but that's going to be huge. We can't wait.
Well, it certainly sounds really exciting. Obviously, as you know, I'm obviously a big fan of you guys. So just from that side of it, it's something that I'm really excited to hear about, all the different plans that you've got, and obviously wish you good luck as well with the Leathermill gig as well in a couple of months. But that is unfortunately the end of the This Is the Music Meets Matilda Shakes podcast. James and Joel, thanks so much for coming on. I've really enjoyed it. It's been a really good laugh. Although not entirely sure about the gig choice there with the with the 5 bands, but hey ho. But just before I let you go, can you let the listeners know exactly where they can find you on social media?
Yeah, you can find us at Matilda Shakes on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, all your streaming platforms, and we have got a website, matildashakes.com.
Great stuff, and we'll include all of them links in the episode bio just to make it a little bit easier for everyone to find you. James, Joel, as I say, thanks again for coming on, and I do really wish you both the best of luck, because it does sound like you've got some very big plans coming up in the near future. So thanks again for coming on, and we'll see you very soon.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All that leaves me to say is to thank everyone who has listened to the latest This Is the Music Meets Matilda Shakes podcast. Please subscribe so you never miss out on any brand new episodes. And if you are loving the podcast, please show us some love by giving us a 5-star rating and written review, as it really does help the bands and artists we interview to be discovered. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you again very soon.